Hello everyone and welcome to Earp Sister Feels. This is our episode number 26. My name is Kevin Batchelder, and on this special bonus episode we're going to be discussing the Earp Sister events that took place at Earp Expo 2019. Welcome back to our videos, everyone. We have finished the first 3 seasons as far as the initial plan for these Earp Sister Feels videos, but since Earp Expo just happened and we had lots of Earp Sister stuff there, I thought it'd be a lot of fun to do a video for that. Share that with you and hopefully get some comments from many of you. If you happen to be new to these videos, what happens is for about 48 or 72 hours after I record this, I leave it open so that you can share a video comment. And that way I get a bunch of comments and I take all the comments along with my video, put them together and put that final edition up on YouTube so folks can enjoy a whole community look at things. So if you are looking at this through the link on social media, you'll notice down below there is a button that says record or reply. You don't need a special app. All you need is your smartphone. Just tap on that. You can record a video, play it back, make sure you're comfortable with it, and then save it and send it in. So I do encourage you to do that. If you were at the con and are a big Earp Sister fan, want to share some thoughts, or are you just someone sitting at home and you watched some of the periscopes of it, because as of this point, the official videos aren't posted yet. So if you have some thoughts to share, again, all folks, as far as these Earp Sister events, are welcome to comment. I would appreciate it. I think just makes it for such a fun community aspect to it. So please do feel free to get involved. So if you've been paying attention to these videos or been paying attention on social media, certainly you know leading up to this con how excited I was to be moderating the Earp Sister panel with Mel and Dom. Quite an honor, and I can't thank the folks at Earp Expo enough for doing that. So it was something I was really looking forward to. But that was not the only Earp Sister thing taking place at the con. There were a couple of other things, and so that's why I wanted to kind of copy and cover them all here. And fair warning, you know me, pretty tired after the con still. This is only about 24 hours after getting home. So if I get emotional, it's not going to be a shocker, okay? But the first thing we had as far as the Earp Sister photo ops with Mel and Dom, they were on the same day as the panel, which was Saturday, a couple hours before the panel. Now, if you've been, again, watching me on social media, you know that my friend Ash and I are big Earp Sister fans. And the day the photo ops went on sale, we bought a dual one together. And we've spent the last several months talking about, okay, what poses are we going to do? You know, what are we going to do to make this ours as far as, you know, just really having some fun with the photo op. So that was a lot of the great anticipation, was just spending the time talking about it. But I was pretty sure for myself, I wanted to reenact the scene with the two sisters at the end of the season 1 finale, the forehead kiss. I mean, come on, that's my trademark. I kind of had to go with that. Ash had a couple of ideas and finally narrowed it down and went with the scene at the end of episode 310, when the two Earp sisters are sitting on the floor, the foreheads touching, and so emotional there. So we had a lot of fun doing that one. Hopefully you've seen it on social media, or if you haven't, I'll give you a quick look here. Worked out really, really well. Mel and Dom were totally game to do it, and they did a great job with it. So if you haven't seen it or can't find it, let me know. I can give you the link to it again. What was also really fun, too, that day, we had a photo op, and this big kudos go to Jill, a.k.a. Nedley's office. She had bought an Earp Sister photo op, and what she did is, as you know, many of the commenters here on these videos on a regular basis, several of us were at the con together. So she said, let's get all of the Earp Sister Feels commenters together, which was wonderful of Jill to do that. So we got to do a photo op collectively, and that one also turned out awesome. It might be kind of hard to tell here on the video form, but again, I can get you the link if you haven't seen it. The smiles on our faces, folks, are so true because we are with Mel and Dom. I mean, how can you not be happy? I mean, it only took one take to take the photo, and we were all just smiling ear to ear. So that was a great way to start things off there. So the photo op's wonderful. Hopefully you've seen many of the other ones folks have posted. Feel free if you got one and you're posting a video comment, show us yours here as well. Love to see it. Now there was also one other thing related to the Earp Sisters that happened on Friday, but it kind of ties into the panel, so that's why I'm going to mention it here. Keep it together, Kev. Keep it together. Jill, a.k.a. Nedley's office, who is always super awesome, on Friday, when I was hanging out at the Fangirl Shirts booth, just hanging out, talking to Earpers, as you do during the con, came up to give me a gift. And as many of you may know, we've talked here in the videos about how much it means to us when we hear Wynonna call Waverly baby girl. Jill got a list of every time it's happened in the first 3 seasons. She then took and got screen caps of each of them and put the phrasing right underneath it in a collage. So she gave me a photo collage of all of those scenes. Very emotional when I got that. Means a lot to me. It was also wonderful because I had already planned to ask Mel and Dom about the baby girl stuff to see if they were aware of it. Because as an actor, an actress, I mean, it's all spread out through 3 seasons. I'm not sure you'd notice it per se. So if you've watched the video of the panel, you know that it was something they really appreciated. So I was going to bring up the topic. So to have Jill give me that photo to be able to show to them really was just perfect, kismet to come together. And it means the world to me. What I also did is I took and had that photo collage signed, as you can see in different places here. Mel and Dom did it right here in the center spot, which is perfect. But all the other cast who were there along with Emily, I've got 9 autographs on here for all of them, just signing it there. So you talk about the perfect keepsake to remember the Earp Sister panel and the con and all. Jill, can't thank you enough. That means the world to me. I can't wait to set it up right here, working kind of on my Earp shrine, as I'm calling it, with some of the wonderful things I've gotten. And that one is going to be dead center there, along with the sign print from that Bonnie got me at Acon. But that's a story for another day. So that was a wonderful thing to get. It was also a wonderful thing to be able to use in the panel. So Jill, just thanking you again. Now, as for the panel itself, I'm assuming if you're watching this, you've already seen it. It was also great to, before that panel that day and a little before, I had heard from an Earper who was going to be up at the con, Adrian, that she had something she wanted to get to me before the panel. And as you saw, what she sent and had for all 3 of us was this hanky that says, "Keep your shit together." Now, that was wonderful. I loved it. Again, it's going to be here in my keepsakes, Adrian. Thank you. As you saw at the panel, Mel and Dom appreciated it, but Mel had to have fun, as Mel does, by stuffing both of them in her bra. So again, it was just a nice touch. And again, thank you so much, Adrian, for giving those to us. But being able to show the collage to them during the panel was wonderful. Now, the panel itself is a bit of a blur for me right now. I don't get nervous as much for cast panels now, having had the great pleasure of doing several of them. You do get anxious because, it's something you look forward to. You want to be sure you do it well. My concern on this one was getting too emotional. But I was able to stay on point. I kind of had to, as you heard, when Mel starts throwing stuff back at you and jumping on me when I make some open-ended things that can be turned into good jokes. You learn to be in the moment and do much better there. So I think she kind of helped me keep from getting too emotional. But I think it went well. You folks have been very nice with your comments. So I'm looking forward to seeing the final video when the folks at the con, Earp Expo, do post those soon. But it was just such an honor to do it. It was so great. Many of you, if you've watched the video, know that they had the opening video that Cam created. She created videos for all of the panels. And man, talk about a tearjerker. That one just makes me melt. The first time I saw it, when the con sent it to me ahead of time, I'm glad I knew about a week ahead of time what it was going to be, because man, oh man, was that emotional. But it was also wonderful because when we were backstage just before the panel, I had told Mel and Dom that there was a video to be played. And they wanted to see it. They actually had kind of moved from where they were so they could have a vantage point to see it. So they both watched it from backstage. Kind of tough at the angle we were there, but still they were able to do it. I have a photo of that. It's going to be very precious to me because we're all standing there watching it. So that was pretty cool. They really enjoyed it and appreciated it too. So just such a great experience to do that panel. I'll never forget. It's been years in the making for me, thinking about if I ever would get a chance someday. So I cannot thank the Earp Expo team for giving me that opportunity. It meant the world. But the other thing, too, we had going on that day was the group photo shoot, not an official photo op, but a group photo shoot for those of us wearing Earp Sister t-shirts. And we had a plan to do right after the panel. We had like 30 or 40 of us. I really don't know the final count. Somewhere in there that we're going to be together to do it. So just after the panel ended, I went backstage with Mel and Dom. Kind of, in my head, had my fingers crossed, hoping maybe one or both of them could come to do it. But knowing schedules at cons, those folks are just super busy every minute. So their handlers were there, so I kind of brought up this idea of what we were doing. Now, the handlers said they really didn't have much time. They only had a couple of minutes, but when I mentioned it to both of them, they were like, if we can do it fast, let's do it. So we kind of almost ran over to the back of the panel room out in the foyer behind there where we were going to do it. And the two of them were total game. If you've seen the photo, hopefully you have. Let me know if you haven't. All of the other folks were already lined up and ready to go because we knew we were short on time. And the two of them just dove on the floor on top of each other, and it was such a great thing for them to do. So cannot thank them enough to do that with the limited time they had, to just run out there and do it. And it was so much fun. It was so nice. Looking forward to seeing the professionally taken photo from one of the Earp Expo volunteer photographers. There have been a couple of photos shared there with some of the fans were there, which are great, don't get me wrong, but they're, looking forward to one might be a little more high quality there. So keep an eye for that if you haven't seen it already on social media. And then the final item I want to mention, and I'm doing good so far, not getting emotional, and this might be the part, is all of you who were at the con who came up to talk to me, starting Thursday night, and then on Friday and Saturday. There are so many of you that came up to tell me good luck on the panel, or to give me a hug and tell me I was going to do great, and to tell me it would be okay if I got emotional. I mean, some of you I've known for a while, and, that was great. But also so many of you that I have not interacted with, that I don't know yet, that just came up and said who you were and that you were looking forward to the panel and you wanted to wish me luck. Folks, you have no idea how much that meant to me. I felt I'd do okay on the panel, but having that much support and so many of you doing it, my goodness, I will never forget that, ever. I mean, that is one of those examples of why these Earp cons can be so life-changing. Just the total love and support from all of you was just amazing. Left and right, it didn't matter where I went, there were so many of you that took the time to do that, and I will never forget it. I cannot thank you all by name, but you know who you are, and you know now how much it meant to me, so thank you for doing that. Earp cons are amazing. They really are. The time spent there, the cast, the Earpers, all of my friends that I've now become just so close with to get to hang out and spend time. It's so special, folks, this entire experience. So hopefully you folks have enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to some comments. I want to make this thing a lot longer with more comments from those of you that were there or watched it and enjoyed it. That's what we all do, is share to support ourselves here. Our fight for Wynonna is still going on. We will win. I am confident in that. Emily had some positive comments to say at the Expo if you haven't seen them, so hopefully that we'll hear something soon. But either way, we're going to keep having a hell of a time, and we do appreciate all of you watching, and keep an eye out for more videos. Thanks again, folks. I hope you all take care.
Hello. I'm sorry if there's any ambient noise or a lot of ambient noise. I am at the airport right now waiting to head out on vacation, but I was hoping I could get this little video recorded before I left, wearing my I Heart the Earp Sisters shirt because it's fitting, I figure. So yeah, Earp Expo, Earp Sister stuff at Earp Expo. Earp cons, they're always such an amazing experience. Like, they're just always such an amazing experience. And it's always hard to leave them. And this one was no different. Kudos, big time to Kevin for the Earp Sister panel. It was such a fantastic panel. It was so much fun. Kevin held it together, and there were times when I was cheering for you silently. I was like, you got this, dude, you got this, hold it together, you got it. The questions were great. The just laughing along with those with Dom and Mel, which oftentimes you can't help but doing. It was just such a wonderful panel. It's one of the most fun panels I've been to in a while. So again, kudos for the panel. And then thank you so much again, and also for organizing that photo at the end. Again, every single actor, and Mel and Dom are no different, are so all in. And of course, they would come to do that photo with us. And of course, Dom laid down in front of us. We were sort of, spread out with people standing, and then people sort of kneeling, and then people sitting, and then Dom laid down in front of us. And I'm guessing she assumed that Melanie was going to go lay down on the other side. But of course, Melanie laid down right directly on top of her, because that's Melanie. They're just fun. And they're such sisters. I was surprised in the panel when they talked about neither one of them had a sister. And so they were wondering if they were portraying it right. And when you watch them interact, you go, you guys are sisters. You just are. So Yeah, it was an amazing panel, and again, kudos to you, Kevin, and thank you for showing them that collage. As soon as I made it, I knew I had to get it for you, Kevin, and get it framed. I had no idea that the Mel and Dom would react to it the way they did, and that was really special for me to see the reactions to it. That was very cool, very, very cool. And the photo, of course, when we're grinning ear to ear, of course we were with Mel and Dom. We were with the Earp sisters. Every single time we interacted, obviously it was going to be a good time. The last thing I'll say again, when you talk about these two being sisters, those that don't know, I dislocated my shoulder Saturday morning and was wearing a sling, and I later got an autograph with Melanie, and I told her that I was telling everybody that I heard it arm wrestling Dom, and she sort of looked over at Dom's autograph table where Dominique was, and she basically said, like, yeah, she could take you. And I was like, yeah, I know she could. And again, it's just they're just so fun, and they're so funny, and they clearly there's such affection there for each other, which comes through on screen and makes the Earp sisters on screen so enjoyable to watch. So keep fighting for Wynonna. Can't wait to the next EarpCon, and I can't wait till season 4 starts filming and then airing. All right, thank you.
So first, I'd like to preface this video with the fact that I just decided to rewatch the video that Cam made that played at the intro of the Earp Sister panel, which was a good and bad idea because I just cried again. It was so beautifully done, and if you guys haven't seen it, if you weren't at the panel or haven't watched it yet, you should really go on YouTube and watch it, because the music, the order in which all of the scenes are played, so great. And the reason I'm also bringing it up is because Kevin actually messaged me the other day in realizing that the two scenes that him and I decided to do for our photo op were put back to back towards the end of Cam's video. And that was just like really emotional to see that after we had chose those scenes. I don't want to talk too much about the photo op. I know Kevin already kind of discussed it, but it was really cool to get to share that moment with someone else who also appreciates but understands the love that you have for two characters and just like what that relationship meant to both of us. And that's definitely how Kevin and I first bonded, was over our love for the Earp sisters. And then as soon as Mel was announced for Earp Expo, we decided we were going to do this photo op, and we had been talking about, you know, like what we were going to do. And when I got to meet Mel for the first time at ACON, I took a photo with her, and I asked her if she would do the forehead kiss scene with me, because that was one of my favorite Earp sister scenes. And if anyone has watched any of Kevin's earlier videos, I show the picture on the first one. I'll show it again. But so I knew that Kevin really wanted to do that as well. So I wanted to pick out a scene that was super meaningful to me. And I was definitely really stuck between doing like a reenactment of the door scene, when Waverly and Wynonna are both on outside of the doors and Waverly's saying that she's there for her, and the scene from 310 when their foreheads are touching and they're talking about their relationship as sisters and how much they love each other. And that was what I ended up doing, and I knew it was going to be very emotional for both of us, but it was definitely worth it. And then getting to experience that, like, to not only meet two people who are just like phenomenal human beings in person that are almost like your heroes, but also portray these characters that mean so much to you. And then for them to just be so amazing, like Mel and Dom are incredible, but then to also share that with people that you have more in common with, and then to have that instant bond of like really having this insane love for something else was really cool. And so getting to share that with Kevin and some of the other Earpers was really awesome. And like even before the panel, like I was so excited for him, and I was actually doing photos for Earp Expo. So getting to share in that and kind of like exchanging glances throughout the panel, which I don't even know how I was able to see taking photos because I was crying the minute the intro video played, but that's beyond the point. It just really meant a lot. And then also Jill for including us in that photo. Like it meant so much to me. So thank you.
Hi everyone, Terry Ann here. I'm going to talk about some Earp Sister activities that happened at Earp Expo over the weekend. And of course, I am wearing my Earp Sister shirt for the occasion. The first thing that I participated in was the Earp Sister commenters photo, where everyone who's done a video for the Earp Sister Feels project who was at Earp Expo got together to do the photo with Mel and Dom. So first, I want to say a huge thank you to Jill for allowing us all to be a part of that with her, because it was a really special moment for me. It was really awesome to meet all of the commenters in person, and it was really special to also see Kevin there, because I had met him for the first time very briefly at Earpapalooza, and I think I was really nervous. I probably just introduced myself, and that's it. But when I saw Kevin at Earp Expo, the first thing he did when he saw me was give me this great big hug, like I was an old friend and like we'd known each other forever. And even though I didn't get a chance to really talk to everyone as much because it was a busy time, a busy weekend, there was a lot going on, it really meant a lot to me to get such a warm welcome and to be received into this group. So I hope to see Kevin and some of the other commenters again at another EarpCon. Then we had the Earp Sisters panel, and I don't think there was a dry eye in the room. It was nice to see Kevin doing something that he loved and that meant so much to him. And I think he did a fantastic job. I thought there was a great great balance of like emotion and seriousness, but also humor. And it was really great to see Kevin, Mel, and Dom sharing that moment of reminiscing on all the baby girl scene from the print that Jill gave as a gift. And I love that the Earp Sisters now know just how special that relationship is to the fandom, especially with the baby girl nickname. It also was really fun to do the Earp Sisters t-shirt photo, and I totally knew that there was no guarantee that Mel or Dom were gonna be there, and I thought it would just be cool to do be a part of the photo regardless, even if it were just the Earpers. But when we saw that Mel and Dom could make it really quickly and that they were game to just be silly and just jump in, they came right at the front and they laid on the floor to be a part of that picture. It just made it that much more special. And it was like the icing on the cake for that moment. So it was really fun to be a part of so many Earp Sister activities over the weekend. Even though I couldn't get the full experience because I was dealing with some health stuff that kind of limited my ability to participate in everything, it was still really fun to get a chance to participate in all of the things that I could do. And I really could feel like the positivity and the love and the excitement and just the energy from all of the Earpers there. And it was wonderful to be a part of that and to just get like a great recharge and like an Earper boost to be around everyone. So overall, it was a wonderful weekend, and I couldn't have asked for anything better for that time. So until next time, I will hopefully see you guys at another EarpCon. Bye.
Hi everyone, Jessica here, gonna talk about Earp Expo and some of my Earp Sister moments. First, I want to talk about not a Earp Sister specific thing, but on Friday, I got to meet Emily. She was the first guest that I met. I was freaking out a little bit in line, during, and after, but some of my very good friends were there to kind of help walk me through that. But afterwards, I was able to talk with, you know, Varun and Danny and Megan, and I talked to Michael, and Michael was like, who's your favorite character? And usually my answer to this is everybody, because, you know, I love this show and I love all the characters, specifically the Earp sisters. But if you were there, you know that Michael's line was right next to Emily's line, and the way Michael was standing, I was facing towards Emily. And it was kind of one of those moments that it was like a mini epiphany. You know, I told him what I usually say is, everybody. But then I said, you know, Emily is my favorite, because she gave us these characters, and she, along with her writing team, continue to give us these stories that we connect with on such a human and personal level. And so yeah, I walked away from Friday with that. But you know, Saturday is the first time that I got to meet Mel. I had, you know, a lot of different photo ops, and it pretty much immediately, the first photo op that I was in, I was wearing my Earp Sister shirt, and she looks down and she's like, "Aw," and then, you know, she kind of just like looked at me, and I just instantly felt at ease and connected with her. I also got to meet Dom through so many short moments with photo ops, but Saturday I was able to talk with Dom in the autograph line, and to be honest, it went by really, really quickly, and I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember walking away and just, you know, feeling proud of myself that I talked with her, and then, you know, of course, Saturday, the panel was so incredible. Kevin, you did such a great job. We laughed, we cried, and everything in between. And then the photo op with Jill that I was a part of with Kevin and a couple of the other people. Jill, thank you so much for inviting us to be a part of that. Words will never be enough to thank you and what that meant to me. And then afterwards, the whole group, like 40 to 50 people, trying to get in this small space to take a picture. So I can't wait to see that picture. But Sunday was the first day that I felt, you know, really confident and really comfortable. And I remember I was in an Uber on the way to get breakfast, and I never had my phone on, but for some reason I was holding my phone, and Twitter was on, and I just looked down, and, you know, Ash was selling a meet and greet for Mel, and I remember, you know, thinking, do I have enough money for this? Let me figure it out. I did, and I bought it from her, and so thank you, Ash, for selling me your meet and greet with Mel, because, you know, besides getting to meet and talk with Emily, and then getting to spend so much time with Earpers that I had been talking to for weeks online, but then also meeting and getting to spend so much time with new Earpers. Sunday's meet and greet with Mel meant a lot to me. And then, you know, talking with her and her photo op, the autograph line. Yeah, it was a little bit rushed because it was Friday, or it was the last day, Sunday, and it was already running behind. But I'll never forget that interaction that I had, and just the whole weekend, spending time with Earpers, getting to meet the cast and to see the panels live, was just the best experience of my life, and I will never, ever forget it. Thank you again, Kevin, for doing these. You did an awesome job with all of the panels. And thank you, Jill, for letting me be a part of the Earp Sisters photo op. Until next time, bye.
Hey everybody, just thought I'd weigh in on my non-con experience, but it was super cool to see all those videos and pictures that people were posting, and specifically thanks to Jess for getting all those Periscope videos. That was really, really rad that you took the time to bring everybody in that couldn't be there to those panels and stuff, so thanks for doing that. yeah, super fun to see and kind of experience secondhand, but also not really the feelings going around in those rooms. It's really interesting, I think, to be on this side of a screen and to still feel that you're connected to something. And I think that's something this fandom definitely has a unique handle on, and I'm really appreciative of that, and that people are so open and wanting to pull other people into the experience they're having. It's sort of the whole point of this thing, and yeah, I really love that. So yeah, Kevin, you did an awesome job, dude. That was a great moderation, way to roll with the punches, as it were. And yeah, this is just a really special thing, and I'm looking forward to, at some point, meeting a bunch of you in person. But it was really special to sort of, I was also having like Twitter like messages back and forth with people who were at this con and people who also weren't simultaneously, and there's a real feeling that I've had that is really similar to my actual extended family, and that connectedness of everybody being intentional about wanting to pull others into their lives. And yeah, I hope that other people are getting that same experience from this that I am. Yeah, you guys are really awesome, and I'm looking forward to more of this.
Hey guys, I wasn't at Earp Expo, but I did want to jump in quickly and talk a little bit about what I saw from the Earp Sisters events that happened. One thing I will say off the top is that it was so nice to see Mel and Dom together after a very, very long hiatus, is what it seems like anyways. And so while we didn't get actual Earp Sister moments, it was very nice to see the two of them play off each other, especially at the Earp Sisters panel, which, Kevin, by the way, you killed it as a moderator. One of the moments that really stuck out for me during that panel that really solidified who Mel and Dom are and who Waverly and Wynonna are is the moment where Mel tells Dom that she had spinach in her teeth the whole time, even though she's lying that she didn't really, during their original audition and the quiche. But why I love that so much is because that's such an older sister move to pull. I've done it to my younger sister, and I do it all the time still. So for me, that really solidified just the, like, bringing home the fact that the two of them are like sisters on and off camera. I also really love all the photo ops with their sisters that I've seen. It really, I couldn't be there, so for me, it's really nice to see them interacting with fans and just loving all of the Earp Sisters shirts and moments. So for me, I really like to look at the photo op photos that everyone posts after of them with the two of them. That always makes me really happy to see people just loving on the Earp Sisters and getting these moments with them when we haven't seen them on screen for a while. So that's amazing. I also want to shout out Jill because that collage with the baby girl collage, oh my god, I almost started bawling when that came out. And I had no idea how Kevin kept it together because I would have bawled my eyes out seeing that for the first time. That's such a touching moment, and it's so great to see Mel and Dom's reaction to that. I guess for me, really, the main thing, though, is just like seeing how excited people are about the Earp Sisters and how it still remains such a vital part of the show. Yes, it's not on air right now. It will be, but it's not on air right now, and I think seeing these moments at these cons is such a great thing for me because I love seeing that other people love this relationship just as much as I do. But anyways, I rambled a little bit, but congrats to everybody who went to Earp Expo and got to hang out with the Earp Sisters. It all looked like a blast, and I hope to see more of that at more cons.